afternoon. So, Ken, some big executive changes, it seems, at Google. Is this a new era for Google going forward?
It is and it isn't. It isn't that you have a new CEO and Eric and the troika that had run it and had to agree on all major decisions is no more. On the other hand, what's not new is that always Larry Page was the dominant figure. You had to have his approval on stuff. That doesn't mean day-to-day CEO stuff, but on any big move they had to make, Larry was very critical. In fact, Sergey was critical. Sergey Brin, the other co-founder. Mm-hmm. So, and Larry has always thought, and people have always thought that one day he'd be CEO. I think the real interesting question for me is, what does Eric Schmidt do next?
Well, what do you think?
I was going to ask Ken that question exactly.
Do you think it's the beginning of him being out at the company? No doubt about it.
No, I don't think there's doubt about that. I mean, I think he was they went through a very tough management patch. When he was recruited in 2001, there were some ups and downs. The founders had a hard time ceding authority to Eric, and they had to bring in Bill Campbell from the outside to act as kind of a coach and to really almost be like a shrink. And by 2003, they had smoothed out their difficulties, and that was a very well-functioning machine. But I can imagine Eric, say, joining the Obama administration. I would actually imagine that before I would imagine him going to run some other company. He's in his mid-50s. He loves to fly a plane. He's made billions of dollars now. So, and I would be hard-pressed to believe that he's on the outs with Google and the founders.
You know, the interesting thing, Ken, is that someone anonymously tweeted Eric Schmidt is in, Timothy Geithner is out, the countdown is so on. What could you see him doing in the Obama administration?
Secretary of Commerce. I mean, they have someone, the Secretary of Commerce, who has very little business experience, and there's complaints in the business world that the Obama administration doesn't relate to them very well. And that would certainly be one thing to do. I would have a hard time seeing him going in as economics or as Treasury, because that's not Eric Schmidt's background. He doesn't have the kind of background on international currencies, for instance, that someone like Geithner has.
What do you think, though, Eric Schmidt means when he tweets day-to-day adult supervision no longer needed? I mean, is he saying basically I've dealt with this company in such a way that it can run itself at this point, so even Larry can run it?
It's always been an inside joke. And Eric has always said, and I would quote him to this effect in my book, that I am the adult supervision here. These were guys in their 20s when they started Google. And now they're 30. They just turned 36 years old. So he's basically making a joke on his former joke, which is adult supervision is no longer needed. These guys are grown men, and Larry is perfectly capable of running a company. Now, is that a feint? Is that some kind of cover-up for that Larry said, Eric, I want you to leave? It could be. I don't know. But I do believe that there is not a deep tension between Larry Page and Eric Schmidt.
You know, there's a situation at Google as well, which I'd love to get Ken's take on, where a lot of people have been saying they have trouble monetizing the things they brought in. Ken, just 10 seconds here. Do you think that this will change that? Will they be able to boost revenue from other sources than search?
I think they are boosting revenues. I mean, search growth has slowed. What Google has been able to do is suddenly turn a profit at YouTube. They have a huge market share with Android operating system for cell phones. They will figure out a way, presumably, as they did with search, how to monetize that. So Google has some real potential growth engines.